Got a DAF? A donor advised fund. How would you like to simplify your giving and avoid capital gains tax for the rest of your life? A donor advised fund is a 501c3 investment account that you control that allows you to put money into it and get a tax deduction immediately. How does it simplify your giving? Let's talk about that. Most people give out of their checking account to charities. If you support 5, 6, 7 charities, you have to put all 5 on your tax return. When you have a donor advised fund, you can give money every single month to the donor advised fund. All that goes on the tax return is the contributions to that donor advised fund. If you give out to 5, 10, 15 different organizations from your donor advised fund, none of that goes on your tax return. That means any nonprofit, there's about 1.5 million of them, can be given to through your DAF and you don't have to put it on your tax return. The other benefit is you can give completely anonymously. That means you can send your tithe to your church with your name, and then if you want to give to Young Life or some organization you care about but don't want them to ask you for money every single year, you can send it anonymously so the check shows up without your name on it. The next level is avoiding capital gains tax. How? Most people forget if you have a brokerage account where if you have a stock that you've held for a year, when you sell it, you have to pay capital gains tax. So in this example, somebody has $51,000 in a stock. It's taken a couple years, but it's grown to 80. When you sell it, that's $29,000 of gains that you sell. If you're in the top tax bracket, you have to pay 23.8% tax or $6,902. That's a lot to pay. However, you can take some portion or all of that stock, give it to the donor advised fund, and you write it off at $80,000, full market value if it's been held for over a year. What you can then do is give to your church over the next year, 2 years from that donation, and the stocks or the bonds that you like and want to buy back, you take the money from the checking account and buy it back at a higher cost, resetting your cost basis so that you wipe out capital gains for good. So remember, if you're giving out of your checking account, you could leverage your stock account through the donor advised fund, give to the charities, then instead of taking money from your checking account to the charity, you would send it back to your investment account to buy the stocks back at a higher cost, therefore eliminating capital gains tax. You would just rinse and repeat until you run out of capital gains. Then you could take cash directly to your donor advised fund to fund the nonprofits that you're supporting. That's an amazing deal. So, who does what by when? Who, that's you, does what? Look into opening a donor advised fund. Charity Vest, Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, lots of people have donor advised funds. By when? Next week. And that's bags of money.